What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Nick, and today we are in Memphis, Tennessee. In this video, it's going to be two parts. Part one, right now, you're watching, we're going to go and tour Elvis Presley's home, Graceland. Part two, we're going to go across the street to all the exhibits. There we'll see all the jumpsuits, all the cars. We're going to pretty much spend the entire day doing there. Without further ado, come along. Happy part one. We have our shuttle, which if you stay at this hotel, it's great. You get to take the shuttle for free, runs every half hour, over to where you get your tickets at the exhibit. Then we'll take another shuttle to the mansion. Hope you enjoy. Long live the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Let's go. Shuttle was right on time. Took us a whopping 1 minute to cross the street. I absolutely love these gates. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elvis Presley's Memphis. I could not remember if it was called Elvis Presley's Graceland, because obviously that's across the street, but Elvis Presley's Memphis. I like to consider this the, the mega mall of Elvis stuff. So the last time we were here, funny enough, was in 2017. So prior to 2017, those of you who may have visited in the 90s, earlier 2000s, right? This, they had the old exhibit where they still had the suits and the vehicles and motorcycles on display. But in March 2017, this all opened up and we came here May 2017, which was absolutely awesome. We'll be exploring all of this later. First, right now, gotta go see the house. Like I said, this will be part two on this side. Tour time tickets are $12.15. Almost looks like a movie theater, doesn't it? Can buy tickets here. That's what we did last time, but like I said, that was pre-COVID, so don't take my word for it. I had to get your tickets in advance. So basically, we'll start our tour in the pre-show A theater. They show us a little movie about Elvis, and then we'll take the shuttle across the street. Also got our map, just so we don't miss anything. I'm looking forward to this. This is like a newer exhibit. They have Dressed to Rock. The Making of Elvis movie exhibit, that's brand new too, since that movie just came out last year. That's going to be in part two once again, so stay tuned for video number 2. And on we go, back to the shuttle. We got our audio tour guides. Pretty sure John Stamos still does the tour guide for us. And we made it. Wow. This is gonna be absolutely awesome. I'm so excited. I haven't been here in 7 years, but it's like, could smell the inside already. All right, can't take video inside, so let's begin with the pictures.
All the way up, please. We're gonna make a half circle around the person.
Welcome to the living room at Graceland. This style reflects how Elvis would have had it from 1957 to 1974. One of the first things you'll notice is the 15-foot custom-built sofa. It was originally blue metallic, but Elvis later had it recovered in white. The living room is connected to the music room by stained glass peacock panels. The panels were added to Graceland in October of '74. You could almost imagine Elvis and the guys standing around the piano in the music room, singing all night long. Down the hall is Elvis's mother, Gladys Presley's room. Inside you can still see her clothes hanging in the closet. After Gladys died in 1958, Vernon remained at Graceland until remarrying in 1960. Elvis's grandmother, Minnie Mae Presley, later moved from an upstairs bedroom into the first floor bedroom. Her upstairs bedroom became the nursery for Lisa Marie. Here in the foyer was often where special guests were received and shown to the living room, where they would await Elvis to greet them. Lisa Marie would say she could still hear her dad coming down the steps with his jewelry clinking. What a lot of people don't know is when you walk into Graceland, if you look directly up at the ceiling, above is Elvis's bathroom, where sadly he passed away. Obviously, the upstairs is off limits to the public and always has been, just the way Elvis liked it. Just across from the living room is the dining room. This style also reflects how Elvis would have had it from 57 to 74. What's cool about this room is the Presley family will still gather around the table when they come to Graceland for the holidays. As you enter the kitchen, make sure to look right. This was a little secret staircase that Elvis took from the upstairs to the kitchen to avoid people in the living room if he wanted. Welcome to the kitchen, the busiest section of the house when Elvis lived here. The Graceland kitchen remains exactly the way Elvis redecorated it in the mid-1970s. Elvis had the latest kitchen gadgets too, including a very early model microwave. Fun fact, the kitchen was not originally included as part of the Graceland tour. Elvis's Aunt Delta, who was his father's sister, still lived in the mansion when it opened to the public, and her room was just off the kitchen. Delta died in 1993, and the kitchen was open to tours in 1995. Next, let's go downstairs to check out the TV room and the pool room. When you mention the TV room, most Elvis fans know it as the room with 3 TVs, which is true. It's also true that Elvis borrowed the idea from President Lyndon Johnson, who watched all 3 news shows at once. Elvis kept up with the news, and he enjoyed watching sports like football and boxing. In the corner, you can see a record player. Most of Elvis's record collection is now in archival storage, but a few of his records are still in the TV room today. Across from the TV room is the pool room. First thing you'll notice are the walls and ceiling. It took a crew of 3 about 10 days to cut, piece, and hang the 350 to 400 yards of cotton fabric to the walls and ceiling. The billiards table had been in that room since 1960. And when it came time to redecorate in 74, Elvis wanted the table to stay in the room. Pay attention to the tear in the felt on the pool table. The tear happened when one of Elvis's friends tried a trick shot that didn't quite work out. Once back upstairs, we've entered the jungle room. Elvis never called the jungle room by that name. To him, it was just the den. But thanks to its unique exotic decor, the room became known as the Jungle Room after Graceland opened to the public. Elvis added the area as an extra family room during the 1960s. First it was a screened porch, then it became an actual room. He had the waterfall installed in 1965. One of the coolest things for me about the Jungle Room is that in the late 70s, Elvis preferred to record music at home, rather than in a studio. For later albums, he stood right here singing. This was also Lisa Marie's favorite room in the house. As we make our way outside, you'll get a view of the old carport and the backyard, where Elvis held many parties and backyard barbecues. We've made it to Vernon's office. While it was Colonel Tom Parker who managed Elvis's career, it was Elvis's father, Vernon, who managed his personal business. This building served as his office. Vernon oversaw all the details of Elvis's personal finances and management. Fun fact, when Elvis returned from the Army, he gave his first interview back home right in this office. Next to Vernon's office is the smokehouse, but Elvis liked to use it as a gun shooting range in the 60s. Next, we arrived at Elvis's trophy building. This building tells a personal story of Elvis, his family, and the Graceland Mansion. We saw so many great artifacts like Elvis's keys to Graceland, his office desk, red furniture from the 70s, his badge collection, and more. The last building we saw was the racquetball building. As you walk in, make sure to pay special attention to the piano. The final night of Elvis's life, he spent sitting at this piano with friends. He sang a few songs, then went inside the house for the final time. The racquetball court itself has been restored to its 1977 condition. Just taking a little pause before we head into the meditation garden area. This morning, actually, we did the free meditation garden area walk, 7:30 to 8:30 every morning. They let you get Graceland gates open. They let you come up and pay your respects, and you kind of walk around, and then you head back out. That's what we did. So it'd be nice to see the Presley graves a second time today. But it's so peaceful here. I love it. The final stop on our mansion tour is the meditation garden, where Elvis and members of his family have been laid to rest. Millions of fans from around the world come to Graceland to pay their respects to Elvis, the humanitarian, singing sensation, movie star, and king of rock and roll. I was wondering where the horses were. They're not out back, they're in the front today.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on the front. And we're back in front. So those two rooms up top right there, that's what would have been Elvis's room. Here's the music room, living room, where the tiny window is right up there. That's the bathroom, Elvis's bathroom. And then right as we walked in the foyer, which I talked about, that's where Elvis would have passed away. That's where his body was found. Such a beautiful place. Today we're in Memphis, Tennessee, and welcome to part number 2. In part 1, we toured the Graceland Mansion and the meditation garden in the back, all of the fun stuff. Now we're across the street in part 2. Welcome to Elvis Presley's Memphis. As you can see, it is pouring here today. That's all right. Let's head on inside and begin part number 2. I hope you enjoy. Let's go.